There we go. This is so shaky. Gonna go ahead and apologize to whoever ends up in here on that regard. I don't know why this is so unstable looking. Hopefully it's actually going live more stable than that. We shall see. DOR. There we go. We have a snake. Oh, there's so many people in here all of a sudden. This is my first stream actually, and so I'm gonna go ahead and apologize for how rough it's gonna be, because we are walking around at night in the rain. But yeah, first snake, dead brown snake. Actually, I can't tell if this thing is rehydrated or if it's just very, very axanthic. Very weird though, either way. We're gonna keep going. We have 57 people in here. This is cool. You guys are gonna have to let me know if this quality is just abysmal or how cool it looks, because on my side, it's looking like it's very, very bumpy and probably painful to watch, but herping live streaming is kind of a novel thing, I think. So I've done it before back in the day, back on like Facebook and Instagram and stuff, but this is my first YouTube live stream. So, oh yeah, stinky indeed. But Caitlin's here with me. We're walking around an area that has a lot of snakes and salamanders, but mostly I think tonight we're expecting salamanders and a KI. I'm having such a hard time keeping up with these comments, guys. I'm so sorry. But yeah, I would love to stream more. There's just a lot of issues that present themselves with streaming. The first of which is service, and then spot leaking. It's very easy to do, which I know 99% of people watching have good intentions, but worm, we got worm. Dude, I have so many comments already. I'm having a hard time keeping up with it, but hopefully you guys can at least hear what I'm saying if you can't see super well. And then whenever we find something, I will make sure to give you guys a good look at it. How's it going?
All right, all right.
I see that guy walking out here all the time. This is kind of a remote. Sorry, I have to stop. To actually look at comments. So it seems like the stream is coming through pretty well. We got big worm. It just looks so shaky on my end, like way shakier than the video comes out normally. But I expect us to get into a lot of salamanders here within, 10 or 15 minutes. So hang in there, everybody, until we start getting into stuff. The main things we'd expect to see here are things like marbled salamanders. You got something? Oh, a tiny frog. That's a squirrel tree frog. What on earth? How is this the first herp of the night? That is actually like the rarest frog we could have found here, I think. I wonder if I can take a picture when I did that. But yeah, that's a metamorph squirrel tree frog. It's about the size of my fingernail. I'm gonna try to give you a little scale on that, but very, very uncommon herp in Metro Atlanta. Probably the single rarest frog we could see here. And I think only the second frog I have, or the second squirrel tree frog I've ever found around here. But very cool. We'll continue. I'm gonna have to figure out how to balance taking pictures of whatever we're finding for my records with actually streaming. Yeah, Caitlin is kind of... Hey, there's the guy who I met at Little Giants in here. Shout out to our local viewers. Oh, frog. It's another squirrel. What? What? It's gone. No, there he is. That is so cool. They're kind of weird looking too. I think there's a good chance we could find a barking tree frog tonight. That'd be really cool. I'm gonna get a quick photo of this guy. The video feed while I take a picture. It's not ending it or anything. Let's switch flashlights real quick. There's a chance we could find a live snake tonight. I think it's honestly a pretty good chance. So I can tell that's a squirrel tree frog because it doesn't look like the other tree frogs here, if that makes sense. So squirrel tree frogs, this light right here I'm using now is kind of ridiculous. It's from one of our Patreon patrons. Is that it's a rock. But he sent it to me and it is awesome so far. Super bright. It's in the 60s right now, so it's very warm. Sorry, I'm gonna have a very hard time keeping up with comments and also trying to watch for things. But like I said, we've got Caitlin here, so we don't really need me looking. She'll see everything.
Wow, that's for her.
It's already a thing. Everybody knows. Ribbon last night. That's cool. Try to get the. I'm using an umbrella right now, and it's not because I'm worried about getting wet. It's because the limiting factor tonight is going to be how dry I can keep my phone to continue streaming, because here's another little frog. Another squirrel. Sorry, give me a second to kind of... Another squirrel. I guess I never really walk around out here at night. So I guess it's... Well, I do walk around here at night, but not in the rain. Usually it's dry, and I'm looking for snakes. Sorry, stream cut out there for a second. Leopard frog. Very nice. They are wet, cold, and sticky. I love the videos of tree frogs like jumping on little kids' faces and them freaking out about it because they don't know what it is. I'd like to think some of those kids grew up to have an interest in frogs rather than a fear of them, but nice southern leopard frog. If anyone wants to keep track of species, that would be awesome. We're now at 2. Leopard frog and squirrel tree frog. The negative sucks. I'm not gonna lie. If you're in Alabama right now, you could totally find things on the road. Let me get a... Right. So this area is loaded with ambystoma. So marbled, spotteds, things like that. I do think we're gonna be getting a salamander eventually. Is it a critter? Oh, it's a snake. We got a snake on stream! What? First live stream in December and we find a snake alive? That's also 2 nights in a row we found a... Oh, look at that.
Oh, I think this is another one.
Another one?
Yeah.
Is it?
No.
Okay. Well, this one's doing cool things. But yeah, live brown snake. We got a brown snake last night, and we got a brown snake DOR at the beginning of the night tonight, and we have a live brown snake now. So, very cool. I'll get a quick pic, and we'll continue on. I'm gonna definitely optimize the process a little bit in the future, so I'm not prepared for this at all. I've got this giant flashlight. I have a headlamp in my backpack, but I cannot... Yeah, I think I know the video is cutting out when I'm taking pictures. Let me know if you can still hear me, though. If it's a big pain, I will stop taking pictures and get Caitlin to take them on her phone. So, very nice. Sorry, I'm getting water on my camera lens. It's actually really warm right now, so it's 65-ish degrees, so... The one we saw last night did this defensive thing too. Kind of interesting. Okay, it pauses completely and then returns. All right, so I will try to get pictures on Caitlin's phone then, unless we find something crazy. But yeah, first snake of the night, brown snake. All right, we have our first snake of the night. Apparently somebody guessed it correctly, which is pretty cool. A gray tree frog. That's another species. Just because apparently when I stop to take a picture, it's cutting the stream. Big worm too. 4 species. Cope's gray tree frog. This is another little guy, kind of metamorph sized-ish. There's no cars on this road, so it's just a walking path. And I doubt anybody's out here biking or anything tonight, so no real concern about things getting run over. Yeah, I'd love to live stream more, but it's very difficult to do by yourself. A green tree frog. And also, a lot of places I herp, I have no service, so it's impossible. But there we go, green tree frog. 3rd tree frog species in like the last 10 minutes we've been live. And there's only one more species of tree frog we could possibly find here, and that's the barker. So that's the cool one. Hello, Brother. I have never been live before, so this is my first time. And it's not because I didn't want to do live streams, but because it's for one, herping is very boring when you're not finding anything. So watching me herp when I'm not finding anything would probably not be very fun. But then more so, just not having service in most places or having dodgy service. Like, I'm sure this is not nearly as good of a video quality as it would be if I was connected to the internet through Wi-Fi. There's a big frog right here. Another green. Man, the tree frogs are going crazy tonight. Look at that. Very dull. I think these guys kind of change color in response to temperature, but yeah, I agree. I like doing them even if I'm not finding anything, especially if I'm not finding anything, because it gives me something to kind of yap about and something to keep my mind on if I'm bored. But like I said, the biggest limiting factor is more so the service than the, you know, not finding anything. And the water is it's surprisingly high. I mean, we've had a decent amount of rain, but you can tell with the green grass underwater that this was not here before. Is Greg in here? Greg is in here. What's up, Greg? Yeah, I wanted to look for tigers tonight, but it looked like the rain petered out further north. So, I mean, you know where I'm at, but it's a good spot with good service and lots of things to find. So I figured it would be a good spot for our first live stream. I am surprised we have not seen salamanders yet. That's very surprising to me, but we will, I'm sure. There's a couple of specific stretches that I know we're gonna see marbles. There should be 3 lines here, yeah. 2 lines especially common. There are cottonmouths where I'm at tonight, but I would be kind of surprised to see one. Not shocked at all, but a little bit surprised. Because cottonmouths are kind of like brown snakes in that they come out and presumably eat like all the little frogs, and cottonmouths will eat anything. So they'll eat literally anything that's on the path, especially if it's dead already. They don't have to work to catch it. They can just scoop it up off the road. But we're kind of coming in on one of the better stretches now. Yes, do please hit that like button, because it will hopefully make this stream reach more of our NKFherping subs, because I don't do these live streams often, so I don't know how the recommendations work and how many of my subs even know I'm live streaming right now. But I would assume they get a notification, but I don't know how this works. I've never done it before. Yeah, and I think what I need to do is have like someone to run the camera while I'm live streaming. Sorry, I'm reading comments real quick. Yeah, really, frogs are everywhere, so looking for snakes is very difficult, but frogs, salamanders, especially in the southeast, are very accessible. You can go out any night in the winter that it's above as long as you live in an area that has a relatively mild climate, as long as the temperature is above 45 degrees and it's wet, you have a good chance of seeing stuff crossing paths like this. All right, well, it seems like a lot of people are getting notified, so that's good to know. We did just see a leopard frog, so the lithobates are out. I think that leopard, green, and bull are probably the only species here, though. I'd be pretty surprised. I'm having a terminal failure of my hand right now. This flashlight is like, can you shine your light on my light so I can show them how awkward it is? This light is like shaped like kind of like a rock. It's just very heavy and hard to hold with my umbrella while trying to film this live stream. So what's my favorite snake? That's a loaded question. I would say, I mean, the thing that comes to mind is timber rattlesnakes these days, just because they're such a, yeah, go find some frogs. Yeah, so the southeast, particularly the Blue Ridge Mountains, is the salamander biodiversity of the world. Here we have a lot of species, but it's not quite as crazy as it is in places in the Georgia mountains. And what you got? Oh, it's a dead squirrel. I'm not gonna show you guys his sad little body. Yeah, king snakes are my favorites as well, but timbers are just, I kind of, when I found that black canebrake, I kind of had like a religious awakening to the quality of a good timber rattlesnake. There's just not much that beats that for me anymore. We got 143 people in here. That's pretty nuts.
Wild.
Thank you guys for showing up to watch me shake my phone in the mist, because I'm sure that's what a lot of you guys are actually seeing right now. And we haven't seen, this is the longest we've gone without seeing a herp since we got here. But this path that we're walking kind of meanders through swamps and suburbs, so that's a worm. It's got a lot of stretches that are not as quality. We got a frog right here. It's got a lot of stretches that are not as quality. It's another squirrel. So the way you tell green tree frogs apart from squirrels is they have lots of weird little markings on them. Is there like something giant over there?
I don't want to know.
You heard that though, right? We got spooky noises in the woods on live stream. Squirrel tree frogs. So bullfrogs are native in North Georgia, so they're actually very common in the winter. It'd be kind of weird to see a big one, but I would be surprised if we don't see any tiny little bullfrogs hopping around. They're one of those things that you can find in like seepages at all times of year. Yeah, so I think the only reason I have enough connection to even stream right now is because I'm in, the metro Atlanta suburbs, where we do a lot of our local herping. So good service here, and thankfully pretty good habitat too. I thought that was a red-bellied snake. If we could get 2 snakes, specifically 2 species of snake, on a live stream at night in December, that would be awesome. Sam Squanch. Oh my God, I love you guys. We got Trailer Park Boys references. Does anybody get freaked out by foggy woods at night? Because Caitlin does. I think there are just spotteds and marbleds here. I wish there were tigers here. We were gonna go look for tigers tonight, but the rain kind of skewed away from that area last I looked at the radar, and for the last 20 minutes, my phone battery is actually holding up surprisingly well. I have a power bank if we start running low on battery. I really am surprised we haven't seen a marbled salamander though.
So many worms.
Yeah, this is absolutely my favorite weather. Bigfoot? I don't have a very strong opinion about Bigfoot, but I love the lore. It's very interesting to hear people talk about, and there's no peepers calling or anything. We had a couple peepers going off at home last night. I do go birding. I love birds. I'm just very bad at taking pictures of them, and my camera gear is mostly geared towards herps. I do think green snakes are something we could see tonight, so I'm going to try to keep an eye on the bushes. If we do see one, it will probably be kind of sad looking, but you never know. That brown snake was very healthy. Yeah, this is another squirrel tree frog. I am absolutely in disbelief at the squirrel tree frogs. Like, I've seen one in this county ever before tonight, and now we've seen, it's been maybe the most common herp, I think. So, very interesting. I mean, I come out here in the summertime all the time. Like, this is where we ride the bike a lot. You would just think I would have seen one before now. And I have seen one, but it wasn't even at this spot. It was on the other side of the county. Very, very interesting. I'm gonna read some comments real quick. Yeah, those tall fence flip spots suck. You gotta find someone to talk to. A lot of people are nicer than you would expect. I'm gonna be live as long as, you know, we're finding stuff and people are here and my phone's alive. So at some point, my phone will get kind of to terminal battery, and I'll probably cut the live and then make my way back to the car. So I have a little bit of battery to photograph anything crazy we might stumble across along the way. I need to keep an eye on these puddles too, because there could totally be mud turtles. Oh, the path is flooded here. That's pretty crazy. It's warm enough for me to be in sandals tonight, for those of you who are wondering how it feels out here. It does look like beans. We got some beans.
That's gross.
You know, beans. Everybody says hi, Caitlin.
Hello.
She says hello. Salt marsh snakes mating in your yard. That's an interesting one. I love salt marsh snakes. Look at this water is really cooking. I mean, with this kind of flow, some stuff might get washed out, but I don't know. Be cool to find a displaced snake that's not a Steraria, but snake in 10 seconds, huh? Hello, Washington State. That's cool. Oh, that's a big frog. What is that, a leopard? He's gone, whatever it is. All right, we got our litho. Oh, nope, he's in the water. Never mind. I have never been north of North Carolina on the East Coast, which is kind of goofy, but I have not, and I need to remedy that.
Oh, that's large. That startled me.
Is there a critter?
A big old deer right there.
A deer? Oh yeah, look at that. Can you see the eye shine? It's probably not showing up. He's kind of back in there. I really don't know where the salamanders are. I'm kind of embarrassed at my whiff on salamanders so far. We'll get some though. The lack of two-line salamanders is kind of ridiculous. Like, not really looking for anything in particular. I picked this spot because it's got good service and it's got a lot of just all kinds of herps, good diversity, good numbers. So I knew we'd find some stuff. So there's another snake. We got a snake. Another brown. Another brown. He was doing a red-bellied snake impersonation at first. Could you get a picture of this guy? Oh, another snake? Snake? Yeah. All right, we're gonna go look at this one. 1 second. We're gonna bring you over there. Come on, bud. We have found more snakes than salamanders by a long shot. There we go. Cool variability here. The one brown snake pattern-wise is almost more like a red-bellied snake. And then this guy is your typical brown snake, but they're definitely both decay. 3 snakes so far. That's cool. They do potentially have some issues getting wet. I'll talk about that in a second. You got a voucher of these?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. All right, Caitlin's taking vouchers for me because when I stop to take them, it cuts the stream. So, can you take the umbrella for a second? I need General Grievous arms for this. For real. I think being General Grievous would be a very overpowered herping superpower because you could just do everything all at once. Hello. I don't remember which way this one was going, but there's little risk of anybody getting ran over tonight, so. Let's see. Can we get to 200 people? So the wet issue with snakes getting wet this time of year is it's not a problem when it's nice and warm like this, but you know, tomorrow night it's going to be 31 degrees. So if these snakes get wet tonight and then don't really dry off, it could lead to them getting stuck underground during a cold snap, and their bodies are wet, their scales are wet, and that can lead to scale rot and like worsening snake fungal disease type stuff. I think I can probably take the umbrella down for now. It's only drizzling a little bit. I have herped in most of the counties in Georgia, at least, you know, briefly. And truthfully, there's little differences between them, but this is a cottonmouthy little area. I see a frog over here. This looks like a big toad. I saw his eye shine, so it's not a toad. It's another leopard frog, whoever was asking about. Oh no, that's a green frog. That's another new species. Awesome. I have found a Kirtland snake. Actually, one of my first YouTube videos that really did well was me finding Kirtland snakes for the first time in Kentucky. Only the OGs will remember that. That was like 2019. What you got? I do see him. Nice. Caitlin spotted and Cope's gray tree frog. Second one. So, distinguished gentleman, yeah. There was another question I was going to answer, but I don't. So I think being wet for snakes is a lot more of an issue in the winter than any other time of year, because it just is so much harder to dry off this time of year. Like, the ground stays wet. I mean, it's why there's so many salamander species in the southeast, because the climate is very, very wet. So, especially in the winter, the ground gets wet and stays wet for weeks at a time sometimes if we don't get warm weather to accelerate the drying process. So there's one particular stretch that we're coming up on. I've found barking tree frogs here. So hopefully we can find a barking tree frog through here and complete the hyla of Metro Atlanta for the night. There's a waterfall. Look at this. I have never seen that. What is my favorite snake, period? Yeah, the rattlesnakes almost everywhere are going to be at their overwintering spots, even in places like Florida, where they don't necessarily have to hibernate, but they do tend to hang close to things like gopher tortoise burrows, places they can get underground if a cold snap does happen. which every year in Florida, there's at least a couple of days where it's truly cold enough that snakes need to shelter from it. So thank you. I'll probably be streaming for at least another 30 minutes or an hour. We'll see. My phone battery, what you got? Oh yeah, it's a dead four-toed. It's kind of gross, but you can see that cow belly, dairy cow belly look. Hopefully we'll get, we should see American toads tonight. I'm kind of surprised we haven't, but, so I've seen barkers in these bushes. The problem is they're not a super winter active frog, so I think if we do see one tonight, it's going to be a dinky little metamorph type thing. And normally when I spot them in the bushes, it's because they're the size of my fist. It looks like a green tennis ball, just like stuck in a bush. Dude, I want to go to Australia bad. It's high on my list, so. Yeah, there's a lot of conservation groups in the metro Atlanta area that at least do a little bit of work specifically towards amphibians. And there's, at least within the actual metro Atlanta area, there's not really any super imperiled amphibians I can think of off the top of my head. A lot of the stuff we have here is pretty wide-ranging and common. The issue is fragmentation, because when you start building suburbs in the wilderness, it starts breaking up these migration routes like this path does, where snakes and also even more so amphibians are routinely crossing the road in the same spot. And when there didn't used to be a road there and then you put a road there, it leads to pretty catastrophic mortality. There's a dead guy. Little green tree frog. I really don't know where the salamanders are.
It's not raining?
It isn't raining, but I have not seen a bog turtle. That would be awesome. If you're looking for frogs and you're not finding any, one of two things is probably happening. It's either, well, I guess one of three things. You either are in an area that just does not have a lot of frogs, which I guess it depends on what state you're in, what city, but so it's either you're in an area that just does not have a lot of frogs, it's either too cold or it's too dry. So if it's wet and above 45 degrees and you're not seeing anything, I'd say that's pretty weird. But you also have to be adjacent to wetlands, so you can find frogs anywhere, but it's also much better when it's immediately adjacent to where they're spending a lot of time and where they're breeding, like this area we're at tonight. Did we ever get above 200? I know we got close. I didn't notice. We're at 176 currently. How rare... What's up, Snake Man? Snake Man's here. I will show you the frogs, brother. I promise you. I can't find any salamanders, so stick around for another 3 hours and we might see a two-line. I don't know where the Ew, look at this big massacred worm. But the rain has pretty much stopped, so I think if it does start raining again, I did hit a 200 apparently. Awesome. And we're up to 186 now. So if you're just now getting here, we have seen 3 snakes, all brown snakes, and a number of amphibians. It seems like the stuff that's the most active tonight for some reason is tree frogs. We've seen 3 species of hyla, and there's one more in this area that we could see. No peepers or chorus frogs at all, which is very, like, look at these woods. It's completely flooded all of a sudden. What you got? Tiny frog. Oh, there we go. There's our, nope, never mind. It's a brown green tree frog. I thought it was a peeper. Did he jump?
No, he's in the tree right there.
Oh, nice. All right, so weird little brown green tree frog here. And down here, Caitlin has spotted a green tree frog. I don't know what this guy's got going on, but my flashlight's kind of blowing him out. He's got a bad eye on one side, though. Definitely does not want to give me good lighting on that dude. So, Ian's here. What's up, Ian? Yeah, I know. Everybody needs rain right now. We need more. I mean, it doesn't look like we need more, but I can almost guarantee that the creeks will be back to their normal sad-looking selves tomorrow. Unless we get more rain, but what I need is to have my video light running so that when we find something and I show it up close. Creepy noises in the woods? Who was that? So if you're trying to herp in a desert climate, the biggest advice I could give you is go when it's wet. Deserts are lacking in moisture more so than anything by nature, so during the few times that it does actually rain, that's the time to be there. We're 199. Hello, Dad. Josh is here too. All the homies are pulling up to the live stream. The live stream in which we are suddenly not finding much. Like right when we started, we were finding a ton of stuff. We've hit a little bit of a dry spell, but you can tell we're going down a hill. We're in not good salamander habitat right now. At least not ideal. I'm sure there's lots of slimies on this hill, but this is a good spot for snakes, so. I don't know, dude. I have literally not seen a single salamander yet. We saw a dead four-toed. That's been the only salamander of the night somehow. And I see a lot of salamanders where I'm at when I'm here in the summertime, when it's not even like really a particularly good time to be looking for them. So I'm really surprised we haven't seen any tonight. But we're gonna walk this next little stretch, and then probably, if we don't get into some good stuff up here, that's a millipede. Scooting along. I have not been to Minnesota. I want to go though. I would love to do a charity live stream of some kind, but this is my first ever live stream, so I don't really know how that stuff works. It's a male pine cone.
Exactly what I'm making.
Thank you for pointing that out.
You're welcome.
All right. This stretch right here is where I was hoping things would really turn on for salamanders, and if it doesn't, then we might be out of luck. I would love to do more live streaming. The problem is it's impossible to film for a video and a live stream at the same time without having a cameraman. So it's going to be like one of those things where, nice, another green, got a little frog action. Yeah, we're more or less out of the drought. I mean, it's the big thing that causes drought here is when we have high temperatures and lack of rain, because it just zaps the moisture before it really soaks into the forest floor, and things just get crispy. But we've had enough rain and it's been cold enough that it doesn't really feel like we're in like a problematic state of drought. Look at that worm acting like a snake. There's one more area we could drive to and try if we don't get salamanders here, which I'm open to doing. Probably have to cut the stream to do that, but. Say what? Video me driving.
What is this? A worm?
I don't know. It would be perfect if a GoPro could support live stream and I could just throw the GoPro on my head, but for things like salamanders, that would be kind of anticlimactic because you're going to see a tiny speck in my hand. But for like, if we were looking for snakes, GoPro would be perfect for live streaming. And also, it's going to be a lot easier to do this during the day. Here's a snake. Red belly? Brown. Man, we're just not going to get a red belly tonight, are we? Brown snake number 4. Alexander Gordon. Oh, true. I see what's going on here. I'm being clowned. The boys don't think I should get behind the wheel anymore. Could you get a photo of this one, please?
Oh, yeah.
I guess I could just, the problem is I want these for Herp Mapper. Really do not know why, there are so many brown snakes here. I've always wondered. Yeah, that's true. Caitlin could run the camera for me, but she needs some training for that.
If they want to see everything I see.
He's flattening out a little bit. All right. And if you're wondering why I keep going silent, it's because I've got this giant flash. Is that a horsehair worm? It is. That's a horsehair worm. These are one of the most disgusting animals on the planet. A horsehair worm. You can see it's like maybe 9 inches long and looks like a parasite, and that's because it is. These guys, they lay the, I don't know the exact details, and I know I've talked about it on the channel with people who know more about them, but these guys are like cricket parasites, and they lay their eggs in crickets, and then this thing explodes out of the cricket eventually. I will not lick it. I'm not even gonna touch it. Little size reference.
Is that the one you were looking at?
No, that's another one that just crawled onto the road. We're finding more snakes right now than we would on an average night in the middle of the summer. It's kind of ridiculous. I love brown snakes, and I think it's extra cool. Like, the coolest thing about brown snakes is that they are this way, and you can just come out here in winter and see them acting like it's not even cold outside, which it's not right now, but the fact that they're so unfazed by anything is just remarkable to me. Yes, that is the disgusting worm. Thoughts?
You?
You want to pick it up?
No.
All right. I'm trying to conserve my flashlight battery too, because like I said, I'm wholly unprepared for this. It was kind of a spur of the moment decision to try to run this tonight. So, is that the 5th brown snake? It is, isn't it? That second one that crawled out would have been the 5th, I think. I am definitely a little surprised we haven't seen a red belly, because they're equally or more common here. It is not snowing, it's misty, so it might look a little bit snowy on camera, but it's just, is that a turd?
Yep.
A literal turd? You see, it's just kind of misty. It's very warm though. We got a car coming, or a vehicle. Look at this rainbow worm. Got some crazy iridescence. Yeah. I'm sure they are, Ian. You're gonna have to come and pick me up like an Uber if you want to go find them with me, though. Yeah, dude, it's 65 degrees. What else would I wear? Oh no. That was a green frog, or a bullfrog one. He got smacked. We'll probably turn around here relatively soon and maybe drive up to the area I know is more salamandery. So I don't know if I'll cut the stream. Although we're finding snakes, so if it ain't broke, don't fix it, I guess. I did want to find salamanders, though. This stretch, there's like a seepage situation on the left up here that feeds into this bigger floodplain swamp, and you can see it right here. This is really good salamander habitat. So what in tarnation is that? I don't even want to know what that is. What you got? Rainbow worm?
Yeah, it turned, like, look, it's green.
Yeah, they're iridescent from the right angle, and from the wrong angle, they just look like a worm. Oh, we hit 208. Nice. Nice. I think it probably looks a lot more difficult on camera than it really is. Like me spotting something on this road on camera makes it look a lot harder than it would be if you were standing here. But you basically, like, what I do is I look up the road for silhouettes of frogs and snakes, and I move towards them salamandery. Here's a frog. I found a marbled salamander on eggs like 10 feet from where we are right now a few weeks ago. So they're definitely here in common, but there's another green, another weird little metamorph size. The rain is picking up. I'm gonna need the umbrella back.
Mm-hmm.
This is a disaster. I need an extra hand.
What do you need me to do?
No, it's like I need an extra hand on my body.
Oh, okay.
Literally need an extra hand. $2.10. Yeah, so that I spotted a green frog. I think it was a green frog. I can't remember if it was a green or a bull, but I did spot a frog earlier tonight with eye shine. We have a salamander. Gods be praised.
There's a fort coming.
Where? Behind us?
No, in front of us. Is
Yeah, thing deal. All right, I'm just gonna try to coax this guy away from the road. There he goes. All right. He is safe. There's a little southern two-line salamander. Very, very common. Hopefully that music doesn't get me copyrighted or something. I don't know how that works on live streams. But yeah, southern two-line salamander. First salamander of the night, finally. Yeah, this is very normal for here. It's just a mild climate, so the snakes are kind of weird, but also, say what? They're browns, yeah. So there's so many brown snakes at this particular spot, and brown snakes are, for whatever reason, predisposed to coming out in rain. I don't even know if this live stream is monetized. I have no idea how that works, so it'd be nice if it was, but like I said, look at this. A dirt cut. Kind of surprised there's not slimies clambering around on this, but the salamander activity has just been dismal tonight. I really don't know why. Well, we're not playing Rocket League right now, so I'd say it affects it pretty negatively. All right, we got some real rain coming down, so I would say salamander activity is always the best, like while it's actively raining or just after it's stopped. So if we could get a nice marbled salamander, I'd be stoked. All right, this is a really good looking stretch, so would not be surprised if we see a brown snake or two through here as well. I think I got up to gold last season, but I'm terrible. I'm actual dog duty at Rocket League. It's just a fun game for me. I enjoy it, but I'm not good at it. Missouri in the winter could be tough. We have another vehicle coming. Here's a, kick this guy, not literally. Oh, it's an upland chorus frog, new species. Out of the path, go. Go, go. All right, we're in the clear. That's a pretty little dude, very red. Thank you, thank you.
Try.
All right, he should be clear. There's definitely more traffic all of a sudden. When we first got out here, we were seeing nobody. But I don't think. It's 7:20. All right. This is kind of that. Like, this is a very salamandery microhabitat here. This is basically a seepage-fed bay swamp. There's these trees, these evergreen trees are called, it's some kind of bay tree species. And generally when you see those, you can see they're evergreen. So all these trees that still have leaves, I think, are bay trees. Those are good indicators of salamander habitat. My pants are falling down because of all the stuff in my pockets. We got a green tree frog. These guys have been very common tonight. This is not my backyard. This is a random suburb of Metro Atlanta that is not far from where I live, but not close either. Far enough that it kind of, it's a little bit of an investment to drive out here. I could do this where I live, but I don't have service, so we'd probably even more stuff if we were literally at home right now, but maybe more amphibians at least. But I don't have service there, so. Hold up. My biggest target for 2025 is to probably complete my goals for 2024 that I largely ignored. Oh, that's a handsome guy. Nice spot. Big Cope's gray. Full-grown adult. Thank you. Could you commandeer the umbrella for a moment? I'm actually gonna pick this guy up, I think. Very nice. All right. We've been going for almost an hour. That's pretty cool. Has anyone been here since the start? I'm sure someone has. Probably multiple of you, but I'm having a very hard time balancing reading the chat while also looking at where I'm going, so many apologies if I'm not answering your questions or noticing you. Hold up, gotta pull my pants up. What you got? Dead two-line, evidence of salamander. What you got? Yeah, another dead two-line. Yeah, we've had a pretty good night. We've seen, oh, there's another snake right here. I think this is our 6th snake of the night. This one's probably also a brown. Yep. Brown snake number 6. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to secure the brown snake so Caitlin can get a voucher because my hands are full. But 6 snakes. It's a brown out indeed. That is certainly a good way to describe it. But that's not really surprising. There's so many brown snakes here. And I don't really... this is the first time I've ever walked out here at night in the winter, so... it's kind of a novel experience, but we're definitely gonna... Let's go up to this rock pile and then we'll turn around and run it back. My phone's at about 70% charge, so we're still holding up good on battery. I plan to continue streaming until we get back to the car, probably, and then I might go over to the marbled salamander spot. This is a marbled salamander spot. I don't know where they are. They're just everywhere here, but there is a particular area where they're particularly common. Is that a little four-toed? It's a four-toed! Yes! Finally. You gonna get voucher real quick? Umbrella. All right, so this little dude is, hold up, screen wipe. One of the most common salamanders we see in this area, but very, very cool, very unique four-toed salamander. See if I can show you his belly, but these guys are so small, they're hard to even pick up. I know Snake Man is very, very stoked about this. This is something he's been wanting to see all night, but it's not dead, you're right. But four-toed salamander, very common. I really would have expected to see 50 of these tonight. I really don't know why the salamander movement is so weak, but we will get him out of the road. Very nice. On to the next, or this is where we're going to turn around right up here, so. See if there's anything obvious here. I don't see anything up ahead. I guess like the holy grail find tonight would be a mud salamander or a mud snake. I mean, there's not going to be a mud snake out, but you never know. There's the tiny frog we somehow missed. Another upland chorus. How have we seen 2 chorus frogs and no peepers? Both very pretty. Oh, I'm looking for snakes. We've seen 6 so far. All brown. But what can you do about it? Press on, look in the bushes, and hope to find a green snake? I wonder how wet my new camera is right now. Hold up. Feels pretty dry. I do find tiger salamanders, but not here. Not the right habitat, unfortunately. I did want to go look for them tonight, but the weather ended up being much better around here than up where I plan to look for tigers, so this will not be as fun looking for tigers. What is going on here? All pine straw. Non-herp animal. I mean, I've seen bears. I think the thing that I worry about the most is either rabid domestic dogs and cats or feral hogs. Those are definitely and people, of course, yeah. People are definitely the sketchiest thing. This is actually the exact area where, when I was in high school, I was walking around out here with my dad before I could even drive. And we got attacked by a German lady wielding a baseball bat. Greg was there. He can vouch. There's a video of it. There's a video of a crazy old German lady trying to hit me with a baseball bat. Here. So And that's not even, like, she was fairly harmless because she was an old lady, but that's not even the sketchiest thing that's happened to me. I can't even talk about the sketchiest things that have happened to me, actually. Maybe that'll be a subject of a full-length video one day, but a lot of that stuff is stuff I don't even care to talk about. Oh yeah, she was speaking English, but she had a very thick German accent, so it's fairly amusing.
Did we see this one on our
No.
video? He's pink.
Oh, there's a toad. He is dead, so the toads were out. He was there before, we just didn't see him. I didn't notice him either. It's so misty out that we can't see very far ahead. That video is up somewhere. I think it's on my Instagram, but I can find it and repost it on YouTube eventually. I'll do a vintage footage compilation or something one day where it'll appear, but it's like, it was probably 2014 or 15, and I've actually ran into that lady out here since then, and she didn't recognize me, and I went through the same spiel with her all over again with a different person. The first time was with Greg and my dad, and then the second time, another element of her lore is that she has a giant German Shepherd she brings with her, and her husband sits there with the dog and just watches you in silence, says nothing, while she assaults you with a baseball bat in the swamp. That's pretty much what this is at this point. Telling weird herp stories while I walk around in the mist. Luckily, I have my attack girlfriend with me to defend me if anything goes wrong. Man, this just looks so... This is a vibe right here. A vibe and a half. Live stream this lady. Yeah, I mean, it's entirely possible that if we go to the other area where the marbles are more common, that's where it's the same spot, but it's just far enough that you need to drive there. Got a frog. That's her jurisdiction. Another upland chorus. Man, the upland chorus frogs here are so red. It's very cool. German grandma lore drop. Yeah, the husband with the giant German Shepherd is definitely a little bit scary. And the fact that he, in the both times I have dealt with this lady, the husband has been there, and both times he said a grand total of 0 words the entire time. And we were talking to it. Is that a salamander? No. But we were talking to him too. We were like trying to be like, hey, your wife is literally assaulting a minor right now. You might want to intervene. Because I was in high school at the time. It was a long time ago. But the most recent time I ran into her was like 2020, so she's still around. The husband is the final boss. So her story was that she, we got a bike coming up behind us.
Have a nice evening.
Caitlin just had a heart attack from Bike Man.
I did.
Look at that slug. Snake food. So anyways, the story of the German lady was that she, oh, it goes deeper too. She thought I was trapping deer with sticks. Like she thought I was out there making like jerry-rigged deer traps with sticks. And she just would not believe that we were like we told her what we were doing. We're not trespassing or anything. We're in a place you're perfectly allowed to be. So was she. And she was just immensely concerned that we were, it was literally like a textbook Karen interaction, but with a weird German twist. So yeah, she thought we were doing something that we weren't, and there was nothing we could say to convince her otherwise. Did you think that was the German grandma sneaking up on us?
No, I just didn't hear him at all.
There's a
pretty
snake.
Sure he was South African.
Snake?
The way he was
Snake?
speaking. I hear you.
He did have an accent. I thought it was Dutch, but
That could have been Dutch, I guess.
it's a big brown snake. That's the biggest brown snake of the night. Well, dogs for scale. Very nice.
Big.
Yeah, a deer trap. Like, what even? Who even traps deer with sticks? All right, there he goes. That's 7 snakes tonight. That is kind of ridiculous. I couldn't really tell. Like, she was very clearly not all there, but she wasn't old. We got a vehicle coming from that direction. She was old, but not like super old. Couldn't really tell you an estimate or anything, but you know how those things go. She's faded into the lore once again, because I think the last time we saw her was 2021, and I was actually with Professor Pouncey, if any of y'all know him. Adam. Adam is like a pet influencer, and he's got a channel and a YouTube and Instagram and everything for his cat. And so he has like cat food on hand at all times. And like the only reason this lady chilled out on us is because Adam whipped out a can of cat food, and it was like her Horcrux. She like immediately switched zones and was no longer threatened by us because Adam had a can of cat food. There's a little four-toed, yet another one. I do have pets. I have cats. I have a couple of snakes. I should probably get him out of the road here. Umbrella for me, please. Thank you. These guys are so small, it's actually impossible to get them off the road. Like, I have a spatula that I carry around when I'm at home that I'll use to get them off the road, a literal spatula. But the key is to, with those guys, there's the disgusting, ambiguous thing. The key with four-toads is to actually get them, like, they're suctioned to the road because they're so tiny. So actually, huh? I mean, I'll take my umbrella back. I was enjoying the break from holding it in the same hand as my flashlight, but no, it's fine. I need to be keeping it over my phone and camera bag, unfortunately. Otherwise, yeah, they're so... All right, thanks for joining, anybody who is dipping. Yoinking four-toads. This is my first ever live, because the logistics of doing a herping live stream are complicated, so... But I figured this would be a perfect introduction to it because it's so active. Oh yeah, we have a term for that. We call it cut neck, because normally it happens to me when I'm shining cuts in West Texas. And my neck is like I'm basically walking like this, looking off to my side while walking forwards. And it will make you feel like you've aged 30 years from shining cuts. Hey, that might be a little bullfrog. I would guess that's green though. He's a very fresh metamorph. I think that's gonna be a green, but very nice. Peace out, everybody who's leaving. Thank you for joining. Oh, this is a neighborhood actually that we're in right now. For those of you curious, there's not a ton of houses immediately where we are because I intentionally walk the quietest stretch. But this is one of those just paths behind neighborhoods that are everywhere in the suburbs. There's a frog on your side. Another little green frog, I think. You don't need to vouch for those guys unless you just want to. I'll take all of them, but... What? I think it probably just switched modes on you. If you I'm assuming that light works like my... What in the worm is going on?
Whoa.
Are they trying to communicate with me? Warbler neck. Yeah, basically. I really wish it would stop raining again at this point so I can just put this umbrella down, but... What's the strangest place you've ever found a snake? The thing that like immediately comes to mind as just like a very, very weird place I found a snake. I used to deliver pizza before I made money on YouTube, and that was my hustle. So I was delivering pizza one night, and I went to ring this lady's doorbell, and like right as I raised my hand to ring her doorbell, I noticed that on the doorbell was a baby rat snake. It was like crawling over the doorbell through the brickwork. I have not streamed before this, at least not on YouTube. I did a couple of like, there's actually a couple places in West Texas that there's enough service to live stream. I've streamed out there before. It's not as fun as this though, because you see like a couple of snakes all night long, and with this, you can pop in and there's a snake right there, just like that. Because there's just so many brown snakes and stuff out like that. I keep thinking they're red bellies because they're all these weird little yearling 2-year-olds that don't have many spots on them. But all right. Oh yeah, Evansville, Indiana rat snake is a strong contender, for sure. It's always rat snake though. There was also a time, like the Papa John's store I worked at is in like one of those big shopping, like dystopian looking shopping mall complexes where there's no plants or anything. It's just a giant parking lot with a million stores, most of which suck. And I was coming back from a delivery one night and cruising through the parking lot, and there was a baby rat snake in the middle of the parking lot. I have done the Orion raffle the last 3 years. Do I think Kirtland snakes could still be in Pennsylvania? Now we're getting into the kind of stuff that we really want to talk about here. I love herp theory, specifically weird, rare herp theory. I think... What? Your battery's dead?
Yeah. Yep.
All right, well, we might have to do a little bit of a... Can you see good in my light for now? Okay. My backup is in my left pocket, and it's pulling my pants down if you want to grab it. But, yeah. Got it?
Mm-hmm. Oh, no, I grabbed your knife. Are you sure it's in here?
No, I'm not. It might be in my jacket pocket.
Yes.
All right, now you guys have seen a live stream of Caitlin digging through my pockets because I have no hands. That one's also dying, but it's not. Did that one die on you, or did it dim first?
No, it died. Well,
because that one will just go dim as hell.
It switched off completely, and then I switched it on, and I was fine, and then it would dim.
Oh, I was going to say I have done that. Hunter is here. I didn't realize who that was at first. I was like, that is in it. Toad. We got a toad, people. I know. There's people in here that were waiting for a toad, and the time has come. American toad. Impervious cover dystopia. All right, dude. Get your little American toad self out of the road. Very nice. Can you take the umbrella for a second? I'm gonna once again pull my pants up and de-wedgie myself on YouTube live stream. Oh my goodness. It is just not, it's not a very logistical thing to be live streaming a herping outing. It feels very unrefined and savage. Like, I don't know if that makes sense or not, but the lack of ambystoma is just straight up disrespectful. I'm gonna say it right now. There's so many of them out here, and we see them all the time when we're not actually looking for them. And then of course there's a horsehair worm in a puddle. If you want to see how gross they really are when they're in the water. I mean, it literally looks like a hair that's alive, and it is just as gross and creepy as it looks. They're parasitic, so these things take over their host and eventually explode out of them, just like they look like they would. But luckily they're harmless to people. So they, I think, are cricket predators mostly, or parasites. Looks like that green tree frog is gone. He was over there. The pansy is here. Who's that? Whoever he is, he's probably going to find a cool mud salamander tonight. I'm not. Say what? When I first started this, I was having a hard time keeping it focused on the road, but it seems like it's working pretty well right now. The rough draft. This is definitely the rough draft. Flip a rock. That would be a fun live stream if I could rig my GoPro to live stream, or if I had a camera person, which I could arrange for. So definitely is the kind of thing that we might get going in 2025. Oh, a year ago tonight. Smet Logic's in here. What? How's it going, Rob? And JC. The desert in the winter does not seem like a fun place to be a herper. In fact, I know from experience that it's not. Oh. It is cool, though, that if you do get rain in Arizona in the winter, you could find snakes active in it. Even snow, potentially. We are kind of wrapping up. You know, we've got a good little stretch here, but we've been live for over an hour now, and I think we might try to go to a spot that I'm pretty confident we'd be able to find some marbled salamanders, because I don't know why they're not out here right now, but they're not. There is a chance that the wetland here has kind of shifted into another stage of succession, so it's not as suitable for them. We have found, what, 7 snakes now? 7 brown snakes? Maybe more. Hopefully there's somebody keeping count. I think I have pictures of all the snakes, but I'm gonna stare at these bushes a little more. This is where I see barkers in the summer. Looks like we're just not gonna get a barker tonight. But it is December, so. I have found snakes in the snow, actually, only a couple of times, and it's some of my favorite herping memories, and I'm always hoping we're gonna get a snowy winter so that I can try to replicate it, but looks like we have a maybe snake up here. The first time I ever found snakes in the snow was the day I found my lifer pigeon mountain salamander. I was up there in the snow, and it wasn't a ton of snow, but it was snow and it was cold. The daytime high was in the 40s. and we found a garter snake crawling through the snow, which was at the time very, very surprising to me. Now it's a lot less so, because it was February, and February is functionally the beginning of breeding season for things like garters and brown snakes. So that was probably a male headed to where he thinks the ladies are for the spring. And then the second time I found snakes in the snow was actually in West Texas. It snowed. We got like, what was it, like 7 inches of snow overnight, and it was December. And the next morning I went and flipped tin and found an Atrox, a Western Diamondback, and we got a frog up here. Oh, nice. There's a nice big pretty southern two-line. Look at that. And then up here there was a frog. Who is this guy? Another upland chorus frog. So I do need to come to Ohio just because of the sheer amount of people who say I need to come to Ohio. Oh, we got this might be a four-toed. It is a four-toed, an adult four-toed. Very nice. Did I pass something? So you can see this guy's a good bit bigger than the one we had a hard time picking up earlier, but very, very nice. Love to see him. It's been a decent night overall. I'm not disappointed by any means with how it's gone. I'm just a little surprised at the lack of salamander, because I kind of expected to just clean up on salamanders tonight, and we've seen them, but nice profile pic, snake man. Is that the Texas Western mud snake? It's really coming down now. We've got probably the steadiest rain of the night so far on us now. Hawking loogies in the Hills State Park. It has really been a better night for snakes than anything else, other than maybe squirrel tree frogs. The squirrel tree frogs were a highlight. Is that a brown? It is a brown snake. Are you good? No, he's not good. He's hit. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, if you want to get a voucher of him, that'd be cool. Well, that's our first hit snake of the night. We've been pretty lucky so far with only a couple of dead frogs and salamanders. Bummer. Rips in the chat. If I found a timber rattlesnake tonight, I would probably pass away. All right, here we got another snake. This one appears to be intact. Brown snake number 9, including one that was dead, I think. It's kind of ridiculous how many of these are out. Yeah, tonight should be a decent night. I'm in Metro Atlanta, kind of close to where I live. We've talked about this area in person, I think. I was getting to a point earlier and I forgot what it was, so apologies if it was something cool, but I definitely want to do this more often though. I just got to get it, I got to get my rig set up a little better so that I don't have to worry about having not enough hands, or get someone to actually, the one that like attaches to your backpack, like a beetle umbrella.
Yeah, or like those visor ones that are hilarious.
Yeah, the real issue is my phone. I could leave my camera in the car. The rain here is very warm. It's a dead tree frog of some kind. It's about 65 degrees. It feels good. I'm wearing a jacket and I'm sweating, so it's very very good weather for December in terms of the temperature and everything. DOR stands for dead on the road, or path or trail, you know, whatever various structure I'm on at any given time. I just say DOR, even if it's not a road. Roadkill, more or less, is what it means. So this last stretch is where we saw all the squirrel tree frogs, and I think there's a chance there will be more. Yeah, there's a lot of dead herps, and I think for people who don't do this very often, it's kind of shocking, but this is actually, the depressing part is this is not bad. Like this is a very light night for roadkill so far. There's days where it's like, it's just straight up depressing. There's a bullfrog in this puddle. I don't know. That definitely looks like a bullfrog too. Could be a green. I don't know how visible he is, but I think it's a green actually. I was hoping we get a mud turtle out. I know those guys are probably out, but I haven't seen them yet. I really cannot believe there's not been any marbles out. I mean, that is for sure the biggest surprise. No marbled. Every time I go silent, it's because my flashlight's in my mouth. So in situ means as found. Yeah, I've seen a lot of marbles under logs right here recently. I mean, if I really wanted to find one, I could go flip one, I'm pretty sure, but I wanted to get them on the road. I am surprised we haven't seen more salamanders in general, though. It's been a pretty light showing in terms of diversity and numbers. Yeah, there's a little upland horse frog yet again. Those have been decently active. One problem I'm currently experiencing is that I have to piss really badly. And what do streamers do when they have to pee? They just... I don't even watch streamers, so this is like... I know nothing about this. This is a weird looking leaf. We're almost back to the car though, so I probably will cut the stream at the very least. Shut up, Nick. I probably will cut the stream in a little bit and drive to the other spot. And I might pick it back up if we're seeing stuff over there. We'll see. It's 8 o'clock. Here's a little green guy. Little green tree frog. Yeah, Snake Man Nick has been yapping in here this whole time. He's the most dedicated stream member so far. That's not true, but there were people that were here from like the first minute, apparently. It is really coming down now. I'm definitely gonna have to get my bag to a dry location in the not too distant future, because this umbrella is only doing so much. The battery on this new light's pretty impressive. It's super bright, and I have not changed batteries yet since we started, because I don't have batteries, basically. Once this flashlight's dead, we're functionally done. So we're probably functionally done either way here, just because my stuff's getting too wet from the rain picking up. But we're gonna go all the way back to where we're parked. There's a big frog. It's a big leopard. So hang in there. We've got a good bit of... Is this the same leopard frog from earlier? He's got a little green on his head. I have never been to Ohio, so I don't know what any of these places are. Green tree frog. Here's a little squirrel for people who have not been here for the squirrel tree frogs. There's one. Yeah, if anyone wants to be a chat moderator, you can totally hit me up, particularly if I already know you. I don't know how that works either, so I'm open to ideas. But I don't even know, like, is 200 viewers on a stream a lot? It seems like a lot for 200 people to be watching me walk around in the rain at the same time. Another roadkill. Rip. I think a lot of this stuff was here earlier too. We just didn't see it because we did see some of it. But the search image when you're looking for a living animal is very different from a dead animal. "200 people staring at a road together is a lot." Yeah, I would think so. What's going on here? Squirrel? Squirrel? Squirrel, squirrel, squirrel. So these guys, basically at this size, they are very similar to a green. They just have weird little blotches, where greens, if they have any blotching, is going to be like little white spots. These guys have a kind of a... They have a kind of a, I guess, dull color scheme compared to green tree frogs most of the time. But all the tree frogs are kind of brown right now because it's winter. They are not as vibrant this time of year, even the greens. So what is happening? Sorry, my my phone is getting wet to the point where it's starting to lose a little bit of function. Not like it's going to be ruined, but it's just hard to scroll and look at comments because there's water on my screen. But we're gonna hopefully have a nice little swampy stretch here at the end, and we can finish strong with something, I hope. But we will do this again, so if you've enjoyed it and you want to see this again, smash that like button. Whatever it is streamers say. I'll definitely do it again either way, though, just because it's kind of fun and different. Especially this time of year, like a lot of the stuff we would see here, the stuff we see pretty often, so it's not like we're losing content for videos by streaming. It's kind of supplemental. At least it feels like that to me. So, and then I will post this full stream. I think that's something YouTube will automatically do. Like I said, I have no idea what I'm doing. I know as much about streaming as I do building cars. Like, there's nothing, no pre-existing knowledge of this for me. I've watched a couple of streams in my day, but very passively and not in a way that would be helpful to me actually learning how to stream. So I do hope that we can do this for snakes at some point, though. It's going to be tough. I like how like Nobody in this chat, aside from the people making the jokes about me crashing cars, even know what it's about. You guys are loving it. And there's like 6 of you. But yeah, I don't have a car right now. I bought a new car and then within a week crashed it. So I didn't actually crash it. Someone crashed into me as usual. So I actually don't have a car at all right now. I'm waiting for repairs and insurance and all that. So everybody's clowning on me for wrecking my new car. Me and cars. I don't think it's me and cars. It's me and hazardous drivers, which are impossible to avoid in 2024. Every person on the road is actively trying to kill you at all times. It's like a video game. Sure enough, another little green dude. The accident actually, I did crash in Japan too. I forgot about that. That was not the Japan thing was a little different. At least that is the only time I've gotten into any sort of automobile involved trouble that was my fault. And considering how much I drive, I think that's a pretty good driving record. I don't even have a ticket for anything, which is kind of a miracle. But the accident did happen in Florida, so he's just joking around. He was with me when we got in the accident, so we were joking that I was trying to kill him, which obviously I wasn't. But yeah, I've been kind of struggling with the reality of not having a car the last week or two. But I've had a lot of holiday stuff going on, and I've also got a lot of videos filmed already that I've been editing, so the content is not going to stop, at least for another 2 weeks. So I'm filmed for at least 2 more weeks before I really need to worry about trying to actually make videos. So excuse me. Diller? We got a live stream Diller? There he is. I'm gonna shed the umbrella real quick. Hello, brother. Those guys are always fun. I would try to catch him, but I am not General Grievous, so I don't have the hands for that right now. I've got my phone in one hand and my umbrella and flashlight in another. And I have to have the umbrella because I have my camera bag on me. My screen's so wet, but thank you guys so much. Once again, we're coming in on the car, so I am going to wrap this up here probably in the next minute or two. So we definitely have a little bit of habitat here. We could get a last-minute snake, so I'm going to keep it going until we're back. But we shall see. It was very productive. Just not in the way I was expecting. If you would have told me we were going to see 8 or 9 snakes, whatever the number is tonight, I would have been kind of surprised. I expected to see some kind of brown snake activity, but jump scared by hey brother. I could stream again probably pretty soon, but I can't guarantee it'll be any good because the weather coming in after this storm is going to be cold. So we're going to have a cold snap. We could go like flip for stuff, just be a little more involved because I'd have to either figure out how to hook up the live stream to my GoPro, which I don't even know if that's possible. I would assume it is. But doing that kind of thing while away from Wi-Fi could be a little complicated, but stream Apex? No. There's nothing I would rather not do than stream Apex. A rabbit? Nice. It's really warm here. It's in the 60s, so it's not cold. Very comfortable temperature to be in shorts and sandals. I'm actually a little hot because I'm wearing a jacket. And it's not jacket temperatures, but I think we might be done. This is the home stretch. There appears to be nothing else here, so. Say what?
Another rabbit.
Another rabbit. But with that being said, thank you guys for joining the first herping live stream we've done, and I guess I'll see you guys next time, which hopefully will be soon. I will, since this was so successful, we're gonna try to do this again as soon as we can, so duct tape your phone to your chest. It's a video game, Apex. It's a video game, so. This is not a gaming channel. Oh, there we go. Last herp of the night. Another squirrella. Ending it how we started it. I don't even know how to end a stream, but we're right at 100 minutes, so this will be the last herp of the night. And once again, I would go flipping if I could, but I don't have a way to record myself flipping while holding a flashlight. So we will flip eventually on live. I just got to figure it out. So thank you guys again, and I will see you all next time.